it everywhere. All right, it's Facebook Live this week, Ryan's World, exploring the world of innovation. And this week, we have a great entrepreneur with us. We have Dana Haddad, a good friend of mine. And I should also say my co-host, Frankie Lagrateria.
Hello.
So today, and again, Payne Capital Management, we help you with your taxes, your investments. Check us out. You can click on the link above. But this week, Dana Haddad has a very, very interesting business. And since it is Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, ladies.
Happy Valentine's Day.
It's about matchmaking, but Dana, you do some matchmaking that's it's kind of interesting. It's really for people trying to get into school. Why don't you give us a little background on your business?
All right. Well, I started my business 9 years ago.
Okay.
And I came out of the field of education. I had been a teacher, and after teaching, I went into admissions and was director of admissions. And after I left the school world, I started my own business consulting with families.
Okay.
And I helped them navigate the school process from beginning children as young as infants and toddlers,
Wow.
figuring out where to go to nursery school, all the way up through high school. And I do everything, but I don't do college.
Yeah, because traditionally you think college is where you would get some sort of guidance, but you literally start all the way from nursery school all the way up to high school and don't even do college. So
Exactly.
It's a whole process.
There's a huge market. And there are tons of school options in New York City, and families often say that they feel like they're playing a game, but nobody gives them the rule book. I get to be the rules.
So I have a question. What is the importance of going to one of these, more prestigious schools instead of just going to your, PS 118?
Well, many public schools are fabulous, and I was a former public school teacher, so I would never say that public schools aren't a great place to go. But when you have the opportunity and the means to send your child to private school, you give them the opportunity to be in much smaller classes, with more individualized attention, with very often better resources, and sometimes even more teachers. Okay. So families often opt to go for private schools, and then figuring out which the right private school is becomes the next problem.
Okay, so I get it for middle schools and I get it for high schools, but like nursery schools and preschools.
Well, there are no public nursery schools.
Okay.
Oh.
So if you want to send your children to nursery school, you've got to do it in a private setting, whether it be a traditional nursery school or even a daycare center.
Okay.
You've got to figure out that whether it's an application process or just a sign-up process,
Yeah.
you've got to go out, seek that, and pay for that.
Okay.
And it's kind of cool because you were on the other side of the table as a teacher, and now you kind of saw how that side of the equation is, and now that's kind of how you were able to transgress over to actually helping people get into the schools.
Exactly. I say I crossed over to the other side of the desk.
Yes. Yeah. Well said. Well said. Yeah. So as an entrepreneur and building your business, what has been the biggest challenge that you've had? Really building New York admissions.
Probably scaling at the right time, knowing when to take a risk, and believing in the company. I would say after we had been established for 7 years, there was a slight turn.
Okay.
I've never done any advertising, so I've been very lucky that
word of mouth
has really promoted the business.
That's how good Dana is, for the record.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's good to have a friend like Ryan. So that was probably the hardest thing, when to know to take risks. And then, of course, the other side to that is making sure that you have enough faith in yourself to believe that the risks are worth taking. So last year,
give us an example of a risk
I took an additional office space.
Yes, beautiful office space, by the way, not too far from our office.
Exactly, we're in a great neighborhood here. But I used to work out of my home. And it was a wonderful setup, but it was becoming way too crowded. I took an extra bedroom and made it into an office, and there were 4 of us in this one room, and it was just too small.
Yeah, and you have a daughter you're raising at home, so it must have been just like complete chaos.
It was an absolutely chaotic mess. So I took the risk of growing at the right time, hopefully, and taking an exterior office space, and with that office space means adding a phone system and adding a computer system and computer support, and so everything it's a big leap. And it's a risk that you have to take, and that's probably the most frightening thing about being an entrepreneur, because you're counting on yourself.
Yeah, no pressure, Dana. Having said that, and I can definitely relate to that as an entrepreneur. It's just, you're right, all the decisions are on you, good or bad. And how's it worked out for you? Now you have your new office, which is a gorgeous space, and I have to imagine if people are coming in to meet you there.
It's worked out really well. I've designed the office to feel like a home. So we meet in the living room instead of a conference room. I have a dining room table, and so it really does feel.
It's all
there's
about the
candy
ambiance.
everywhere.
Exactly.
There's candy
Exactly.
everywhere.
Well,
We got
candy
kids,
makes you
you know.
comfortable. Candy makes everybody happy. So that's been, just it was the right move at the right time, but it was a frightening risk.
How did you know that you were, financially ready to do this? How did because you're an expert at getting the kids into schools, all of this, but how did you know, my books are in order, I can do this?
Yeah.
That's a really, really good question, and
That's why you're here, Frankie. That's a good question.
Exactly. I kicked it
It's
around
hard.
the lot.
I mean,
It's very hard.
I could not do what you do. You're an expert at that, and to take on a whole nother job, which is being the entrepreneur, being the book person, being all this.
Well, I'm lucky. I have. I know when to get help.
And
And so that's definitely a big piece of it. So
Yeah.
having an accountant who knows my business and can support me and can give me advice and tell me when I'm ready to make a move makes a very big difference. And then I have enough support within the office so that I'm not the one who's running around making sure that the phone system's up and running.
Right.
So delegation's also a big piece of it.
delegate, that's huge.
Yeah, have the right advisors around you. Yeah.
Exactly. And people you can trust.
Yeah.
And I have the best team.
You do. I've been in your office. You're a great team.
I think so,
yeah.
too.
Yeah. Another question for you too is, you're kind of talking on the financial end. What's your plan for financial independence as an entrepreneur? We get so wrapped up in our business. Is there any strategies you're employing so someday you'll be financially independent? We have to ask you as financial advisors.
Well, I definitely need some help in the planning stages, but
Right.
my hope is that I'm going to have the time to start working on my business instead of in my business.
Right. Right.
Which will give me the chance to really plan ahead and expand my business into other areas
I love that.
that
Love
might
that
not need as much individual attention and as much hand-holding,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
means I'll be able to scale in a different way.
Okay, so that's what you want to do, because I noticed a lot of your website and a lot of what you do is that you are the expert. You are, the mastermind behind all
It's
of
the
this.
Dana Haddad show.
Exactly.
It's the
As it
Dana
should be.
Haddad
I'm
show.
talking
And
about the
you're,
Dana Haddad
if
show.
someone's going to you, if I'm bringing my kid and
Yeah.
I want Dana Haddad, is that something you're looking to do, expand where they can go to any of the Dana Haddads at your
Well,
office?
that's what I'm looking for. When we moved to the new office, I did a little bit of rebranding, and I went from New York Admissions Dana Haddad Educational Consultant to Consultants, and I added an S.
Oh,
So we'll be bringing on more people, and there'll
Right.
be people who can specialize in different areas. For example, I have somebody who's an expert interviewer and interviews college applicants who wants to come in and help with mock interviews. So when a high school or a middle school student is going on an interview, what better way to prepare them than to have a professional interviewer available to coach them?
oh my goodness,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You thought of everything, Dana.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. I learned from the best.
I'd like to meet the best. Where are they?
I was giving you
Are
the
they outside? Where are they?
Full disclosure, Dana and I actually meet together, and we do talk about our business problems and what I call business therapy in our entrepreneur organization. Together,
Exactly,
so.
and I say that we're getting our MBAs, but our majors are business,
Yeah,
and so we're learning from each other, which is a wonderful way to learn the peer learning.
and I'm learning way more from Dana than she's learning from me. So one last thing, if we could leave our viewers this morning with or afternoon, is just one piece of advice from the entrepreneurial journey that you can give to our viewers. What would it be? Just something you've learned along the way on your entrepreneurial journey, and you've had a very successful one.
I would say, when in doubt, take that leap of faith and always believe in yourself.
I like it. Yeah,
Like it.
bold. Yes.
Be bold.
Yeah, be bold. That's a good place to end. Well, I gleaned a lot. I don't know about you, Frankie.
Learned a lot.
Yeah.
I did.
Privileged to be here. I hope I'm invited back. Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you
Anytime.
for coming.
So that's Dana Haddad. Her business is nyadmissions.com is where you want to check it out. NY Admissions LLC is the proper name. You can check the link right above. She is the best in New York City. Check her out. And also, on top of that, if you need any sort of financial planning, you need, again, taxes looked at, you need your estate plan looked at, your investments looked at, you can hit the link above here and you can talk to us. Another great episode of Ryan's World. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right, until next time.
Happy Valentine's Day.